Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. And today what we are playing is some Napoleonic Total War. Now this is a 4v4 competitive multiplayer battle, so I am actually going against other players. So what we are bringing here is I am the Russian army. I am responsible for defending the right side of this defensive hilltop. I'm rushing down some musketeers, so some basic line infantry, down to this house here to hold and secure in front of my main force. Now I am taking on my flank another Russian army, and he's sending up some Cossack cavalry to establish a quick front line. So we are going against the Russian army, the Prussians, a French army, and we're going against two Prussian armies, I believe, a French army and a Russian army. And my team is Russia, France, and then Great Britain over here. Now I do like playing as Great Britain, obviously, and France is actually very good as well. I'd say they're one of the best factions in the game. But Russia is excellent because of these artillery units, the 20-pounder unicorn guns. They are incredibly overpowered. I'll show you quickly here. They can absolutely obliterate enemy targets, and they can fire very far. So the basic howitzer, which so every other country has, I think Russia has a basic howitzer as well. They don't particularly fire far. They still have destructive damage, but they don't really fire far. Yet the 20-pounder unicorn guns fire incredibly far, and they deal a huge amount of damage, like explosive power with explosive shells. That's why a lot of the time they are banned from multiplayer battles, just for the sake of it being too overpowered. But luckily we were able to use them here, and I've only bought two to try and be, fair. I've established my 17th Jaeger Regiment here to have a light infantry kind of front line to shoot anyone that pushes up, because light infantry can shoot further than the normal line infantry. I've put some line infantry on the hill behind them, so they have the terrain, that's height, to be able to shoot down the enemy if they were to push up here and try and bayonet charge the light infantry. Got musketeers here, and I've got my two musketeer units that are defending these artillery positions on this hill in square. Now the reason I've done that is because they have cavalry, and they could easily just run around my units here, exploit this gap here or here, because when they're in their normal line they could possibly just go around me and get my artillery. And if they got my artillery, that's me at a massive disadvantage, because this guy also bought unicorns. He bought a normal horse artillery and a unicorn unit. So I put them into square, so then they are able to counter cavalry quickly if they do try and make a cav charge for my artillery units. Now he is using his his normal cannons to try and break my lines here and just destroy the formation I have. As well as that, he's getting his unicorns into position to start firing as well. But his normal artillery can really break my lines and break up the formation of the line infantry. So I think I'm targeting them so far with my artillery. I'm either targeting them or the unicorn guns. Oh, massive hit there on their line infantry. Not line infantry, sorry, they're Jaegers. These are light infantry. Now I don't know why he hasn't got them into skirmish mode. Skirmish mode is where they spread out like my guys over there. They spread out and they're a lot harder to hit. He's just keeping them in a normal line formation, which is fine, but I just don't know why he didn't really do that, to be honest. Right, his cannon are also now firing on this building that I've established. Not doing a lot of damage, but still quite concerning, probably getting a few kills in there, here and there. He is pushing up his militia forces now. These are pretty bad, undertrained forces, but I think he's pushing them forward to really test my front line and see what's going to happen. Now over here we have the Prussian army setting up and establishing themselves with their artillery, firing on the French forces. And we have the British being quite, well, aggressive over here, sort of. They are pushing up a little bit, but not too far away from their defensive positions on this hill. Now he does have his light infantry, the rifles, now shooting at the Swiss foot, who are quite an elite normal line unit. They're pretty good. They're a little bit better than the normal French line infantry. The French also have their light infantry skirmishing with, I believe, possibly the other French skirmishers or the guys in the house. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they can actually reach that far. But here we really do just have an artillery battle here, trying to knock out each other's artillery. Now this guy's bought the Grand Battery of Convention. Now this is 10 guns, I think. 8 guns, sorry. 8 guns in one artillery unit. Incredibly powerful, incredibly good artillery unit within the game. Going to be firing on the British artillery units over here. Now they have reserves as well behind the line. We got some foot guards, the Black Watch, and this is probably going to be another. Oh no, it's the Rangers. So another elite line infantry unit, and he also has his old guard in reserve as well, which is an elite French unit. The most powerful French unit in reserve as well to be able to plug any gaps. He's also bought the Grand Battery of Convention, my French ally here. Now let's see what's going on over here. I'm moving up my cavalry and my hussars. I've seen there's an opportunity to send in the cav to charge these Russian Jaegers here, which are skirmishing with my light infantry. But I think I tell them to wait. I want to see for a better opportunity. Now his militia are trying to push up here, trying to get aggressive, but they are just getting cut down by the guys in the building here. I don't really think they're really going to be able to get in close, and they break. They're going to be retreating, and these guys are going to try and do a bayonet charge into my Jaegers to try and break them. I don't think it's going to do much. They're already on bad morale and they're broken. So there we have the militia breaking. I think now I see the opportunity to send in my cavalry now that they have no real opposition other than a light infantry, and these guys can really destroy these light infantry. So they're going to be charging in now, my hussars, to try and break the Russian Jaegers, so then they aren't going to be able to hit us at range and mow down our line infantry and diminish our strength. There we go, excellent charge from the hussars there, breaking the line infantry. Now I do fall them back as quickly as possible because I see the Prussians sending forward line infantry and Russians sending forward heavy cav. So I retreat my hussars. I don't want them to break. I don't want to lose all my cavalry, as that would put me at a disadvantage for maneuverability. I have my unicorn guns as well, continuing to try and knock out the Russian artillery over here. Not really getting much luck with that. And he's sending forward his general to probably try and inspire his units around him and rally his units back to the battlefield. We got Jaegers coming in again. They've probably rallied and they're going to be trying to do a bayonet charge here maybe. And they're broken. Now we only have a few Jaegers left, which is fine. We've only got 32 out of 120 Jaegers, still alive, which is still useful. They are still incredibly useful for hitting targets at range before they can even get close. The only thing I am concerned about for my Jaegers is their cavalry. They have heavy cav, so the life guard horse, which can absolutely destroy my light infantry and even line infantry if they get a good charge. And the Cossack cavalry, which are really bad, they're basically like a militia version of cavalry, but they can still deal some damage, especially to my line infantry if they catch me unaware and I'm not paying attention. Let's go look somewhere else on the battlefield, see what's happening over here. Now the Prussians are forming up. Looks like they're going to try and make a push on the center side towards this Russian and French army over here. Now the French have also garrisoned a house with, I believe this is National Guard, maybe militia. It looks like it's National Guard, I think, to hold this position here. Now we have a skirmish going on between some Highlanders and Swiss foot. Is this 2 Highlander regiments? Oh yeah, these guys don't stand a chance. And they're retreating, he's falling them back. But they will probably break if they get another volley in. These Swiss foot will probably break and just retreat. Let's see how lucky they get. They haven't broken. If they make it back, that's incredibly good. He's got lucky there if he manages to get this regiment back. These guys are getting absolutely hammered by the cannons, so he is falling them back. That's a good idea. He doesn't want them to get completely destroyed because that will get a lot of kills. And the Highlander foot are quite a good infantry regiment. So I believe he's falling back his armies a little bit to try and get more concentrated. Now we have the Prussian light infantry pushing up here to try and skirmish with I don't know why he's fallen back a lot of his light infantry. Alright, let's see what's happening on my side. Okay, they are trying to make a push here on my position. He has spread out his line infantry into a more spread formation, and these guys will be on fire and advance. Basically what happens is the first line will volley, then the second line will move forward past them and volley, and it will continue forward. So it's a constant stream of advance. That does mean they are more spread out. However, that does also mean that it will cause some disorganization, and it'll be better for me because they're constantly moving. So that would be really good for me, but also kind of dangerous if he does get close enough to be able to bayonet charge my Jaegers and possibly break up here. Now I think in a minute I do get these guys out square, so then they can actually get in the line battle. But he's setting up more reinforcements, a huge enemy force of Russians and Prussians advancing on my flank, and I am getting pretty overwhelmed here, but I'm going to try and hold them as best as possible. We have some Russian grenadiers also advancing in our position here. Now we have the guys up here firing down from their elevated position onto the enemy. Now I do have my hussars still in reserve. I have mounted rifles in reserve, and I have 2 Alans, which is spear cavalry, in reserve. And as well as that, I have 2 elite Russian guard units also in reserve, ready to fill any gap that does show itself. Now this is going to become an incredibly CQB bloodbath here, as the Russians are trying to advance, and they are setting up some Cossack cav to try and break through. As I said, this is why I had them in square, to try and break through and get to my artillery. But here they are turned back and they are routed, and that guy almost got close. And here we have the Unicorn guns firing on the enemy, with more cavalry coming through, this time heavy cavalry, to try and get to my guns. And this desperation to try and actually knock out my Unicorn guns here. If he was to do that, he would be able to have a chance over here. He'd be able to easily break my line. We'll just have to wait and see. Now we have these guys skirmishing with my garrison within this building, and he is getting his Prussian allies to also reinforce his men. These are excellent hits from the Unicorn guns though. This is really destroying my enemy's morale here, and I send in the hussars. I see an opportunity to send in the hussars to try and break them around, break their formation, break them up a bit. And here we have more cav, possibly getting some friendly fire incidents here, but that's okay. The ends justify the means. And here he is sending in the Prussian units are going into advance and try and storm this building to try and get me out of here, of this stronghold defensive position, which isn't exactly great. If we lose that, then we lose our main defensive position besides the hill. This is really important to try and keep them back here. So inside this building right now there's a bayonet fight of multiple units, and here he has a bayonet charge to try and take down this regiment. If he takes down this regiment, he's got a clear direct attack on both of my guns, because he can break them, run to that gun, then run here. This is where I start sending forward my guards and start sending forward my Alans, because I see that he could possibly, my lines are getting weaker and weaker, he's breaking them down. I could possibly have a break in my defensive line. Oh, great hit there. Probably killed a few friendlies, but that's a great hit from the artillery there. Finally breaking the enemy. And I do send in more Alans to try and break these Russian grenadiers. I want them gone. I want as many units as I can to get off this flank. Now, there are more French... oh, wait. Sending... oh, okay, so we have the French army over there sending forward some reinforcements to assist, as well as a French Old Guard regiment coming in to play as reserve, which is quite concerning. They're sending a lot of units onto the left flank. I believe they're trying to get a concentration of force to try and break through here because of my Unicorn guns. They know that they need to knock these out, otherwise these are going to be a serious problem. So they are doing their desperate attempts to try and knock out those guns. Now here we have, French cav, oh no, they're retreating, but we have more Russian infantrymen pushing forward to try and break my lines here. I do form these guys up in square to be able to counter any cav charge that does come our way. And I reform these regiments here. Now these guys are holding strong, taking on 3 Prussian regiments. So this is 2 Russians versus 3 Russian regiments. I believe there are more Prussian regiments are going to try and storm this building because they really want to take this. If they take this, they can also have a defensive position to shoot at these guys. Another bayonet charge coming in. These are the Sovietlake guard or something. So these are guards versus normal infantrymen. So he could break these guys here, especially in hand-to-hand bayonet combat. Because the guards are brilliant in hand-to-hand bayonet combat, and they have excellent morale, unlike the line infantry. Which is now when I send my Sovietlake guard, my elite units, into defensive positions to try and counter this, because my line infantry are starting to break. I fall back one regiment, I believe, that's got completely almost decimated, and I send forward my lifeguard foot now on this hilltop to then reinforce and defend that side. I have my regiment here to rally any units that do start to break. Now he is committing more and more units to try and take this building. It's getting incredibly concerning now, but my ally here is sending down some units to be able to assist us as well, because you can see that they're trying to break through here. I'm taking on 3 armies at once over on that flank, the French, the Prussians, and the Russians. And we have a bit of a push going on over here. The Prussians are trying to take this building away from the French. They managed to do this. They also secure a foothold over here. But he is now sending down some more reserves that he had, and I believe he's committed some old guard somewhere. Oh no, he still has old guard in reserve. Okay, so he still has some reserves from my team over here, but he's trying to make a massive push. They are some Prussians and French units to try and push the British off this hill and get a foothold on this right flank. However, it doesn't seem to be going well for them at all. They've committed too many units on this side, and even if it is successful, I've managed to kill a lot of them. So if they do manage to take this side, there's a lot of them dead, and they won't really have anyone left to be able to take out the rest of these guys who are practically fresh and ready to fight. So all we need to do is hold. We just have to hold the hill. Now we have my 2 musketeer units still trying to hold on against the, an old guard elite unit and multiple Prussian regiments against 2 just normal bog standard line infantry units. So we'll see how well that goes. But our artillery is a major player in this, which is why they are really trying to knock it out. We have guard chasseurs, cheval, trying to get up here to use their muskets on their horses to try and knock out more infantrymen, but I also send out my mounted rifles to fill this gap, so then they also use their muskets to try and put some fire onto that enemy cavalry unit. Now he's committing more and more units here. We only have 1 unit holding this position now. Now they will hold strong. We have to hold fast for as long as we can to make sure our allies can hold. We've taken so many casualties, we're against so many enemies, but we've repelled so many. So far we're doing a good job. We'll just have to hang on for as long as we can. Now these howitzers here are firing onto the building. Now that isn't great because our friendlies are also in that building, so I don't know if I'm paying attention here to that. I think I'm looking elsewhere on the battlefield, trying to see what my allies are doing, communicating with them to see what we could do. But I believe I do shift my fire onto more important targets later. Yeah, I believe I am firing now on their howitzers. No, in fact, I shift my fire over here. There's a foot guards regiment from the Prussians currently pushing up. Now these guys are also elite units, just like the Sovietlake Guard and the Old Guard. These guys are incredibly elite with excellent morale, and now they're going to be pushing up a fresh unit on my flank. I need to make sure these guys get destroyed, or at least have a lot of casualties before they get into the fight. So I'm making sure that my unicorn guns are now firing and prioritizing fire on the foot guards. We have some Royal Scots Greys currently charging the front line of the Prussians. I don't know why they're doing that. Actually, that's going to get them killed, or at least they're going to break. I don't know what they're doing there. That's quite a waste of an elite cavalry unit there, but that's okay. We're still winning overall on the battlefield, and we are still holding strong over here. I've sent my guards down to support this building to make sure we do not lose it. I'm sending in more guards here to try and secure this building as well. Wait, am I? Are these guys going in, or am I just making sure the front line doesn't fall? Yeah, okay, I'm reforming here to make sure no cav can push up here and knock out the guns. So if this center is taken, and they manage to take this building, they can just run out and run up and knock out these guns here. I put them in square so they can also fire at enemies in the building and fire at anyone that tries to come up here, as well as having these guys on their horses to be able to shoot down if anybody does try and come that way as well. Now we have Prussians sending more units over to my flank to try and take out this building. As you can see, they are incredibly desperate to just knock out these guns. These guns are doing too much damage to their armies. And I do have a rallied unit which are coming back now to the fight. They no longer want to go home and run away. They want to come back and they want to fight and they want to help hold this hill. We have foot guards also coming into the fight. Low morale, getting absolutely bombarded by the unicorn guns. But they're going to try and get into the fight with their bayonets and see what they can do. Oh, excellent hit there. Excellent hit from the unicorn guns. Now we have are these normal infantry? Yeah, these are normal infantrymen just trying to hold in CQP bayonet combat here. Absolutely brutal combat within this building, and I believe the Prussians are now retreating. And they cannot do it anymore. They just cannot stay in the fight. This flank is a bloodbath, and these unicorn guns will rip you to pieces. So I believe they now start to try and fall back some units from the fight. Oh no, these guys are going to stay in the fight. Okay, they're going to stay in the fight. So we have some light infantrymen still going to try and skirmish, still trying to make an attempt on this flank. But really, it just isn't looking good for the Prussians over here. And the Russian army that were on this flank are practically destroyed, all except one, artillery unit here and one unicorn gun over here. And they have some Frenchmen over here to try and assist and protect their artillery. But this Russian army over here is practically completely destroyed. We have the British now going on the offensive, now seeing the opportunity to completely encircle and destroy the remaining forces of the enemy team. What do we have here? Oh, the Prussian general charging in to try and break this line infantry, the 88th Foot Colonel Rangers. This is incredibly dangerous. If the Prussian general dies here, his entire army's morale will be completely broken. So that is great. That is great, actually. I don't know why I'm saying that as a bad thing. That is absolutely excellent. And we killed him. The enemy general is slain. So now his army, the Prussian army's morale will be absolutely destroyed. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys break any moment. Yet we do see the French trying to make a play here with their cavalry. I believe they're going to be charging at the rifles over here. They could break them. What are they doing? Oh, there's a... oh, I see. Okay. There is... what is it? British cavalry over here, the horse guards. So we have horse guards that have just charged the French battery of convention. And we have, French cavalry also trying to rout this horse guard unit. And we have Prussian cav? Yes, we have Prussian cavalry. And another Prussian general is now retreating or dead. So that is more morale taken away from the Prussian armies here. We have the British being incredibly offensive, trying to take up this position over here. We have horse guns still in the fight. They are still in the fight over here. That's going to be a big problem for the French. They are probably going to lose this hill because of the inability to rout this cavalry unit. And there we go. The right flank completely destroyed, completely routed. Now we have managed to hold on to this hill, but it's been an absolute massacre. Tons and tons and tons of death and regiments lost over here and within this building. Many stories lost to the wind, I'm afraid. But we have more units moving down here. We have my general moving down to try and support these guys. My mounted rifles moving down, and they're going to be advancing to take advantage of this hill, and we're going to be pushing up to go on the offensive. We are all going on the offensive here. The only unit left of the enemy is Mr. Man himself, Napoleon Bonaparte. Here he is in his French grey overcoat thing. I don't know, but this is Napoleon Bonaparte here. Now it's going to be a race to see who can kill him first. Now I wanted to kill him first. I wanted to secure that. I wanted to make sure that I was the one that killed him. because I was the one that held the flank and killed the most regiments over here. I also wanted to be the one that killed Napoleon Bonaparte. So I'm sending forward my mounted rifles to try and get in close with their rifles and assassinate Napoleon Bonaparte. So let's see if we can get that done. The British are also now trying to get into the race to go kill Napoleon Bonaparte. They're sending forward Highland Foot and the King's German Legion running quickly because they probably see my mounted rifles coming in. So I really want to be the one to kill them. We're all in a race now to see who can kill them first. Now, I don't know what the French player does here, but he sends forward his general to try and cav charge a Highlander foot. But he also manages to rally the 18th, the Infantry de Ligne, or whatever they are, rally them back into the fight, I believe. I don't know, I think it was that. Here we go. Everyone trying to kill Napoleon here. He is getting away though. Will he manage to escape? Or will we kill him? No, that's it. He's managed to escape from the battlefield with his life. So we'll see if we can pursue him to the next battlefield in the next video. Alright guys, well if you enjoyed this video, I hope you did, then leave down in the comments what you would like to see next. I can make many battles if you want to, Russia versus France, Britain versus France, you know, loads of different things. I'll quickly go over the factions that are in the game off the top of my head. I'll try and remember. There's the British, Great Britain, Austria, Prussia, Russia, Sweden, Denmark, the Ottoman Empire, the Netherlands. I think that's it. I think that is it. There might be some more, but there is a mod which I am going to try and download called Napoleon Total War 3, which makes everything way more realistic and adds new factions such as the United States, the Bavarian Republic or whatever. It has loads of different new factions, but we'll see in the future if we can download that mod and get that done so we can have some new videos with a new kind of way to play Napoleon Total War. But if you have any ideas or any scenarios that you want to see, leave it down in the comments. We can also do siege battles as well as naval battles with, you know, the old ships with the cannons and stuff like that. So we can try and get that done. If you have any ideas, anything you want to see, any requests, just leave it down in the comments. Remember to leave a thumbs up and like and share it if you really like this video. Share it with your friends. And also, if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and get ready for some more epic videos to be coming your way. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed and I see you in the next video.
Hit it. Promise you, swear.